Good morning, class. How are you doing? I hope that you are fine and healthy. Today we're going to continue our lessons in Unit 5.5, page 74 and 75. And our topic for today is investigating shadows. For the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about investigating shadows and light. Can you please post something up on our Telegram post? What is investigating shadows? I'll give you a few seconds to answer me that questions. As we know, the word investigating is to research something, to find out if it's true or not. So we're going to find out how shadow is formed and how we can use shadow to our advantage. Let me ask you this question, class. If you are stuck on an island and have no watch, how can you tell the time? So if you're stuck somewhere and have no watch and you want to know what time it is, how can you tell the time? If you use the sun to help you tell the time, you are correct. But from the sun alone does not tell time. You have to use something else that can tell time. What is it, class? Can you post something up on our Telegram post to tell me what that object is? Remember, we are investigating shadows in our topic. So, for example, if the sun is casted right behind me and I have a stick or a pen to place it on the ground, will that shadow of this stick tells us the time? Yes? No? Please post something up on our Telegram post if that can help tell times. Okay, I have some words here that are going to help you in your readings. And these words are also helpful for our investigating our shadow. And it's also helpful for what we would use if we're stuck in an island to find or to know what time it is. The first word is sundial. The second word is noon. The last word is length. As we learned last week, we studied about the length of shadows given at a certain amount of time. So hopefully you have understand this word. If not, you can ask me or we can communicate more in Zoom later on. Noon. I hope you know what noon is. So what time is it when someone say it is noon time? Can you tell me? I will give you a few seconds to post something up on our Telegram post about noon. So if I say it is 5 minutes till noon, what time is it? Can you post something up on a Telegram post? So 5 minutes till noon. So is it 11:50, 11:51, 52, or is it 11:55? If you say it is 11:55, you are correct because we have 5 more minutes till 12. Noons mean at 12 p.m. It is noon time. So if I say 5 minutes till noon, it is 11:55. Now our word for today, sundial. What is a sundial? For ancient times, back in when the world have no watch, they use a sundial to tell time. So can someone post something up and tell me what a sundial is? In some pictures behind me, I have some pictures of a sundial that they were made thousands of years ago. And these are some of the things that they can use to help tell time. I will post this picture up on our Telegram post so you can have a better viewing of it. As you can see, this is a picture of a sundial. You see this little boy standing next to a big, gigantic sundial. A sundial is a round object with a stick in the middle of it. When the sun casts it at certain angles, the shadow will fall in line to a certain time or certain rotations. And that shadows of the rotation will tell the specific times of what day it is or what time it is during that day. So to answer your questions or to answer my questions on this, if you are stuck on an island and have no watch, how can you tell time? The answer is you use a sundial or you use an object creating a shadow casting from the sun. As we learned last week, if the sun is directly above us when it's noontime, there will be no shadow. The shadow will stay short point, so we know that it's noon. But if the shadow is long and pointing at a certain direction, we can tell either if it's morning or afternoon, depending on how the shadow is cast. Like for example here. As you see, the shadow is long towards the bottom. So it is maybe around 5 to 6 o'clock in the evening because the shadow is casting long towards the bottom of the page. In our exercise, we will have some experiments on sundial so you can teach you how to tell time without using a watch. So for your first task, I want you to write the meaning of the word sundial and how is it used, and also explain to me what noon and late is. Hope you can understand these pictures, and to more further understandings, I want you to right now join me in Zoom so we can have a further discussion about this. Okay, can you please bring out your books and turn to page 74 and 75. As you can see on page 74, they have some activities about how to tell time using shadows. You see here they have a stick, they put a stick in the middle on a piece of paper under the sun. And whichever way it casts, whichever way the shadow is cast, that tells a specific time of day. And they do this for a whole period of day. I want you, on your free time, to do this exercise on page 74, activity 5.5. So get a piece of paper or something like a stick and go and experiment on with your time. For example here, they want you to, at 9 o'clock in the morning, go outside, place a stick on the paper, see and mark which way the shadow is cast. Then at 10 o'clock, go out again and put it on the same position, see where the shadow is cast. And I want you to do this all the way till noon time. So record your records all the way to noon, and you can post it up on our Telegram post later on when you have time. Okay, for your first task for this lesson. Your first task I will drop on our Telegram post. Your first task is this page here. I will post it up on our Telegram post for you to answer. You will have 30 minutes to answer all these questions. Once you have answered, please send it back to my personal Telegram so I can correct it and give you back your score. Again, all this information here is on our studies today and our study last week, because we are investigating shadows and how can we tell time from using that shadows. Till we meet again in our second video class. Bye. Hello class, welcome back to our second video for today's task. So, did you find your experiment on your first task exciting? Did you go outside and did your sundial? I'm still waiting for your answers to come back. Remember, the sundial, it might take a whole day to do it anyway, so take your time, do your investigation on how the shadows comes out on your stick and how you tell your time. So you can submit it to me anytime before we start again next week. So now you can answer me, if you are stuck on an island and have no watch, how can you tell time? Now you can answer me that, right? I want to know your answers on that questions. Please post something up on our Telegram post, or we can communicate in Zoom and you can tell me a little bit something about telling time using a sundial. As we see here in these pictures, this is how people use this device to tell time like thousands of years ago, because they didn't have watch back then. So the sun is a perfect example of how you can tell time using your shadows if you know how to read it correctly. And this is called, again, a sundial. I hope you know what and understand how to use this now. Okay, on to our second task on this video. Your second task is on your challenge book. Let me write that. The second task is in your challenge book. I want you to answer the questions on page 43 to 45. There's 3 pages of activities. First, I want you to read the example on these 3 ladies here on how they use the sun behind them and the shadows to tell time. And once you read the shadows, you can answer the questions on page 44, and 45. And page 45, though, they want you to draw a line on a graph to show the result of how these three ladies tell their time. If you have any questions about this task, you can always ask me, and I will gladly assist you or tell you how to do your exercise. Okay, for this task, you will have 40 minutes because it is a lot of work to complete this task. Once you complete this task, please send it to my personal telegram so I can correct it and give you back your score. Okay, class, until we see each other again on the third video, please submit me your homework or your task. Bye. Hello class, welcome back to our third and final video for today's lessons. Again, I would like to thank you for answering me these questions. You have told me that yes, you can use the sun to tell time when you were stuck in an island or lost somewhere. Because the sun always goes around in a consistent circle, and if you put, like for example, a stick on a piece of paper or in the sand, that stick will also simulate a clock. So thank you for your presentation and thank you for your example on your investigations about telling time. And also I'd like to tell you that what this object is, picture is, and most of you said it's a sundial, and yes, you are correct, it is a sundial. A sundial is how old people, like a long time ago, over hundreds of years ago, where they did not have time, so they created this object to tell time, and they called it a sundial. And it's pretty accurate, as we can see. We have used this even in modern days to tell time when people don't have a watch. And we also learned, like our previous lesson from last week, that how the shadow is cast. If you have a short shadow, that means it is close to noon. And you have a lengthy shadow, that means long shadows, it is either early in the morning or late in the evening, correct? Yes. Okay, now on to for your homework. Your homework assignment I will post after the video is played. So you cannot tell me, teacher, I am done, please send me the homework. Say, no, wait till the video is played, then I will drop the homework for you, okay? I have an example of the homework here. This is the homework. It is a list of 13 questions for you to answer. You have one whole week to answer this homework, and once you complete this homework, please submit it to my personal telegram so I can correct it and give you back your grade. Remember, it is important because midterm is really soon, a few weeks ahead. So do your homework, remember the works, and I hope we have a review soon for you for your midterms. Till we see each other again in next week, be safe, stay healthy. Bye, class.